Hi there everybody, Dave here from HeyUGuys, and today we are going to be talking about lots of casting news. I am joined by the wonderful Scott Davis
Hello, everyone.
and the amazing Paul Heath, all the way from Hollywood.
Hello, can you, can you hear me?
Oh, there's a bit of a
Awful.
delay.
I
Bit
hope
of a
other
delay,
people
my
find
end.
it funny. It's
There's
that
a bit of a delay. Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about casting news. It is 9:45 in the evening. It's been a very long day, but there's been some big casting news today. We're going to start off by talking about Deadpool, or the sequel to Deadpool, in which Josh Brolin of Goonies fame. I think if people heard his name, Josh Brolin, immediately you think of Brand in the Goonies, right, chaps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And Josh Brolin has been cast as Cable in Deadpool 2. Now, I have to admit, I know pretty much nothing about Cable, or Deadpool for that matter, other than what I learnt in the first film. But it's okay, because Scott's here to tell us everything you need to know. Cue Scott.
Oh no, on the
Go.
spot. On the spot. So yeah, there's been months and months of speculation about who's going to play this character of Cable. And as you said, they finally announced it today. There was loads of names linked. I think Pierce Brosnan was linked at one point. Michael
There was
Shannon.
that photo, wasn't there? Was that the photo of
Photo of him and Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
That's right, and they're all together, and that's when people started saying, was he Cable? It's coming
Yes.
back to me now.
Yeah, it transpired when I think he was on either Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or something, where he said actually we were just in the same airport at the same time
Right.
and just thought we'd screw with the fans.
Brilliant.
So that's that. Yeah, Michael Shannon was linked. David Harbour, who's in Stranger Things, was linked. Stephen Lang. I think even Schwarzenegger was at some point as well. So it's been going on for a while, and they've cast Josh Brolin, which is kind of strange because he's Thanos in the MCU. He's going to be in Infinity War and Infinity War 2, or whatever that's going to be called.
Got a clever
That's
agent.
what people are talking about. It's got a clever agent, yeah, very clever agent. But I think because he's only motion capturing that, he's not actually in it. So he's obviously taken on this role, which is pretty interesting because it was one. His name wasn't linked at any point. Brad Pitt's name was linked as at one point as well, but he's been cast as a villain in Deadpool 2. You say I know a lot about the character. I don't. So I'm using Wikipedia. Everyone.
That's
I don't
good.
care.
And as we all well know, Wikipedia never lies. It's a bit like
Wikipedia never
IMDb for film.
So from what it says, Cable has been in comics with X-Force and X-Men, and he is actually the adult son of Cyclops, Scott Summers. Obviously not in the timeline of the X-Men movies, but in the comics, that's where he comes from. And as far as I know, he's half human, half cybernetic organism. So he's like a Terminator, essentially, but he's half human flesh and half not. And he has like a red eye, and he's really muscly and has distinctive grey hair.
He is really muscly. I was thinking, looking at this picture here, I mean, the only person that you can, bless you, the only person that could play him is The Rock. But let's face it, The Rock is in every single film currently being made, so obviously he couldn't be in this one.
I think Stephen Lang would have been awesome as this because he's got that look about him. If you've seen,
That's true, actually. Looking at that picture.
he's quite built as well, isn't he? In if you remember, Avatar, yeah. So and if you look at him in what was that film he was in last year? Don't Breathe. So good in that. He's on the way. He's always been great, but he's on the way up in terms of his exposure and that sort of thing. I was sure that he was going to get it.
Yeah, he has the look, especially the hair. The hair is very distinctive in the character, and I think when a lot of fans see it, obviously lots of different fans have lots of different ideas of who it should be, but his name came up pretty swiftly with everything.
Sure,
but I think his potential.
That is Stephen Lang, and look, he's pretty built, isn't he?
Lang of Avatar fame.
Do you know what? Actually, interesting fact: Stephen Lang was the first person I ever interviewed at a junket on video for
really?
Avatar. Yeah.
Wow,
Okay.
I was terrified.
He's a very foreboding sort of figure, isn't he? Sort of look at him, cheeky boy.
You wouldn't mess, would you?
You would not mess with him on a dark night.
I think if he was 10 years younger, no disrespect to him, I think it would have been him easily. But even you look at there was a lot of talk recently about Brad Pitt, and there's even mock-up designs that have circulated online with Brad Pitt's face on. I think Brad Pitt, because of schedules and everything else, he just wasn't. Brad Pitt's a busy man.
Who's Deathstroke? Because I've just typed in Stephen Lang in Google in images, and it pops up with sort of 5 headings. One of them is Cable, but there's Deathstroke in there as well.
Deathstroke is the Batman villain who is being played apparently. Well, hopefully being played by Joe Manganiello, who
he would be good, wouldn't he? He's got the size, isn't he? The figure and all that sort of stuff. Like,
very true.
I can imagine him doing it.
Well, he was obviously cast as Deathstroke in the Batman, the Ben Affleck Batman, but that was when Ben Affleck was directing. So no one really knows now because Matt Reeves has taken over and they're kind of rewriting it and everything, whether he's actually going to be in the film, or whether he's going to be one of the villains as part of the kind of the bigger picture. So he was cast, and no one really knows at the moment what he is. So I'm guessing you're right. He's got the physique and he's got everything kind of down for that. But I guess he's still technically contracted to Batman. There was obviously that little video that went out that rumors that he's in Justice League anyway. So I guess if he's in Justice League,
he was in.
But it's good.
Magic Mike,
good
is that right?
Yeah, he's in both Magic Mikes, I think. He was also in Sabotage with Schwarzenegger.
I think he's married to Sofia Vergara, isn't he?
That's right.
Yes, I think he is. Yeah.
Do you remember Magic Mike XXL? He did the Backstreet Boys song in the garage. That's what I remember. That's always stuck in my mind ever since I saw that. I cheered so loudly when I saw that.
I bet you loved that. Stefan loves that film. On his way to Miami recently, he watched it twice.
It's so good.
He watched it once on the way there, once on the way back.
Yeah.
See, that's why me and Stefan are so there he is. That's why we're so close. You know, we just get it.
There are other photos of him here that I could put up, but I mean, it's indeed.
One with his top off.
Frankly.
We have one with his top off.
Just for you, Paul. Hang on.
Lovely. Squirt in the bottle. Be nice in the gas station.
Jesus. No. Yeah.
I'm massively digressing, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed, but.
Yeah. So, well, there you go, Paul. That's for you.
Racist as well, and the snake.
And the snake. So there you go. So I mean, quite frankly, Josh Brolin for me, his career peaked when he was in the Goonies, but that was in 1985. So times have to move on, and Cable it is for Josh. I think maybe he's a bit short-sighted though because Paul Bettany was just a voice in Iron Man, and now he's a full-blown character, isn't he?
Vision.
It's a bit greedy though, isn't it? Taking two big parts in two
it's a bit odd.
Marvel films. I know they're Marvel Universe and obviously Fox. You know,
I guess if it was both kind of Marvel Studios, obviously it wouldn't have happened. So it is quite strange because I don't think many, there's been like Chris Evans obviously was in Fantastic Four and then he was in Captain America, but in terms of villains, I don't think it's happened before. Mm-hmm. And one that it's not like he was a villain. It's not like we're talking about Willem Dafoe or someone who was a villain in Spider-Man 20 years later being a villain and thing. He's actually an active villain.
So there we go. Let us know your thoughts about Josh Brolin playing Cable in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, I think it's good casting as long as he looks the part. And I think he's a big enough guy, Josh Brolin. But they start shooting very soon, so
he's got to hit the gym.
He's got to hit the gym pretty sharp.
Maybe he knew ages ago. Often they know a long time before that.
Often that's probably what I would imagine. That's probably what
anyway,
happened.
Let's move on to the other big news today, and that is that in the sequel to The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which is the spin-off series from the Harry Potter movies, Jude Law has been cast as Dumbledore, or the young Dumbledore, as played by the late great Richard Harris and the equally awesome Michael Gambon. So this was a quite surprising news, I think. No one really knew it was coming. We got official press releases through on email. What do you think, chaps?
Hello, can you hear me? Right, so this is Gambon we're looking at now.
That is Gambon.
That is Gambon, yeah. So I think he's a great choice for the role. I think it needed a big name, and I think it needed one that's equally as good an actor, and I think Jude Law ticks both of those boxes. I'm a big fan of Jude Law. He's not made some great choices, but you've got to remember he's well in with the Warner Brothers family, so he's just about to be seen in King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, so he's sort of at the forefront of their minds, really. So, and obviously British director and David Yates, I'm not quite sure if he's worked with Jude Law before, but he'd want to keep it obviously British. You couldn't cast an American in that role because obviously you've got two icons like Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. So, but yeah, I think it's great. I don't know what you think, Scott, but I'm fully on board this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Jude Law fan. However, I know he's been getting a lot of rave reviews recently for the Young Pope TV show, which loads of people have been raving about. And as you say, he's a big name, and he's the sort of name that can that could pull it off. I think. I know there was rumours before that it was that people were petitioning to get Sean Harris, who's Richard Harris's son, I think, to play Dumbledore. And there were a few other names floating around, I think. But if you look at, that sort of age and British and everything else, Jude Law's perfect. And as Paul said, the Warner Brothers thing, he was also in Sherlock Holmes, wasn't he, as Dr. Watson in the two Sherlock Holmes movies as well. So he's obviously part of the thing, and he goes up against Johnny Depp as well, because I imagine Johnny Depp's going to be in the sequel much more than he was in the first one as well.
Is he going to get a massive beard? That's what I want to know.
Wow. Does he need one? How old is he? He's in his 40s? Yeah, 50s?
Isn't he very old? Oh, you mean in real life? Yeah, he must be 40 something.
Yeah, Jude Law's in his 40s, yeah.
How old is he supposed to be in Fantastic Beasts? So that it depends on obviously how long after the first one the next one is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The first one was set in was it the 30s or the 40s, right? So I guess chronologically. But then someone on Twitter did make the point of, as he's this big giant, big famous wizard, is he actually, is he not like 120
I've got
or
something to say. It says on Wikipedia, because that's what we're
Wikipedia,
using,
that's where we go.
that Dumbledore was born in 1881, which makes him 150 years old.
There you go.
So that would mean that how long? It must be 40 years before Harry Potter.
Yeah, he'd be in his 40s, I guess.
No,
81,
I think he'd be
91.
older than that. I think he'd be
he would be older,
60 or 70, or maybe 90. But
I'm expecting to see a beard and some grey hair and some bags under the eyes, and I'm just and a wand and a wizard's sleeve and various other things. Yeah, he's going to be fully made up. Let's just say that he's going to be fully made up, and also he's got that. If you look at him now, we're looking at the picture of the young Pope.
Yeah.
You can picture Dumbledore, can't you? If you just look at that, you can see Richard Harris.
With the hair there, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I'm on board. I'm on board all of this tonight. I'm just thinking it's been a great day.
So, let us know what you think about these two casting announcements.
It's been a busy day for stuff. There was a new Transformers trailer. There was the new trailer for Catherine Bigelow's new film, Detroit.
Escape Plan 3 is happening.
Escape Plan 3. There was a new Justice League poster.
We were at their finest premiere. Who did you speak to this evening, Scott?
The wonderful Bill Nighy and the lovely Gemma Arterton.
I mean, it doesn't get better. You did also speak to Helen McCrory, who is a legend, and she was in Potter, I think, wasn't she? Maybe not. And also, she's also married to Damian Lewis of Homeland and Billions and Band of Brothers fame.
Absolutely.
Busy day. Everyone's getting their stuff in before Easter, so they can all have. I
think everyone's getting it in before Star Wars Celebration, when no one else will care about it.
Of course.
Because who needs to have a day off, or even 4 days off over Easter? Why not just keep churning out the stuff, right? Right, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I'm taking the weekend off. I don't care what happens in
what day.
Unless there's a big trailer. That's it. I'm not working.
So there you go. There's our two casting announcements. Let us know what you think of them in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that malarkey. Check out thehollywoodnews.com. It's almost as good as HeyUGuys. It's working on it. Thank you, chaps, for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching HeyUGuys.
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you guys!